I came in contact with an alleged video of how the band broke up the news to their lead singer. So stay tuned for that. I have a video of alleged video of that. So that has you excited and nervous at the same time. Welcome to another episode from Takedowns to Breakdowns with A&P, and today we're here to talk about two of the hottest topics in the music world right now, at least in the metal world. One of them has to do with Live Nation. We'll get into that just in a minute. And the other one has to do with the self-implosion of 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗠 murder. What a story.
Can we start with that one? Because we were...
I just said we were going to start with that one.
Okay, because we were recording a video and you dropped it on me, and in the video you can see my face like, the fuck? Because I'm not big on staying on Twitter like that, so I don't know.
Nothing happened on Twitter. It was all kind of happening on Instagram.
Oh, same shit. I don't use social media.
𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗠 is Instagram. There's no 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗠 Twitter.
Well, I don't use it. I don't use social media that much.
That's actually their handle, by the way.
Is it really?
Yes.
Wow. But that's your thing. So you dropped it on me. I had no idea.
I mean, if you're remotely on any social media platform, either be Facebook or Instagram, like I said, they were a little bit off the X. X was not a factor. So
art is X.
No, they didn't go down that path. So anyways, but if you're on Instagram or the Facebooks, fuck, it was like that's what everybody was talking about. Everybody. I mean, it's a big story. Well, it's not only a big story that you drop your lead singer in the eve of releasing a new record, but then you add to that the fact that you re-record the album with the new vocalist. Obviously, for those that bought the album on vinyl or CD, you still get CJ on vocals. But those ordering online or getting it on iTunes or downloading the MP3s, whatever,
damn, so
they're gonna get.
It's gonna be like
they're gonna get a different singer doing it. So there's two versions of the same album.
That's like a special edition. Like,
I have the original one.
Damn.
I have the original one. Fuck. That shit is pretty cool.
Hot commodity there.
Like, yeah, and I have it on MP3. So now I have to get the MP3 with the new singer.
With the new singer.
And then play it side by side to kind of see the differences.
So fill me in fully. You've kind of given me.
Okay, so for those of you that are not aware, by the way, I came in contact with an alleged video of how the band broke up the news to their lead singer. So stay tuned for that. I have a video of alleged video of that. So that has you excited and nervous at the same time.
I know we're adding videos to this one.
So yeah. We deep cuts on this one.
Okay.
Like I did some investigative work. I went on Google and I allegedly got my hands on an alleged video of them allegedly breaking up. I have to throw as many allegedlys as I can.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sued by any of the parts. So anyhow, so this is what happened. CJ had made some comments that were viewed as transphobic comments. I'm not here to say they were or they were not. I mean, it depends on which side of the fence you are, I guess. To me, the only thing I will say is that when you're in a band like that, why?
Why?
It's
unneeded.
It's unneeded. You have your opinions, keep it to them yourself, and just use social media to talk about your music, your new record, and that kind of shit. That's my personal point, and I know I'm not alone on this. I know a lot of bands feel the same way. That's why they stay out of social media when it comes to that sort of quagmire.
Yeah,
because there's
quagmire.
Yeah, it's a quagmire.
I know it's a quagmire, but when I think of quagmire,
you think of
giggity.
Okay, all right. Well, in this case, there was also some giggity. But anyways, so he shared a video. He didn't make comments. I should rephrase that. He shared a video, and then I think he commented on the video that was shared. He added his comment to the video that was shared. Like I said, that came across as being transphobic. Now, the band apparently, once again, we're hearing kind of like one side of the story, then we hear the other side of the story.
Yeah.
But we weren't there, so we don't know who's speaking the truth or not. You know, truth to power or whatever the young folks say these days. Yeah, fuck the power. So anyhow, apparently the band asked him to do a video, you know, wheeling it back, like bringing it back. Yeah, bring that shit back, apologizing. And apparently the first video that he did, it wasn't apologetically enough. So they asked him to do a second video because obviously he's apologizing for something, but he doesn't believe in the apology.
Yeah,
so that's a fact.
It turned into like one of those Logan Paul apologies where it was like,
come on, like you know the dude doesn't
I've
believe.
made a complete lapse of judgment. Like,
come on, you know he was not like. let's face the facts. He didn't. It was one of those forced apologies.
Yeah.
So right away, if you approach the guy and that's the attitude that you get, and you're not cool with that, why even go through with it? Just at that point in time, you have to assess your situation. But anyhow, so he did said videos. They posted the videos. But then we don't know what happened internally.
Okay.
The album got postponed. The release of the album got postponed, I think, by a week, maybe 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. But at least a week. It got postponed. And then in that time period, allegedly, the band went behind his back, re-recorded the vocals with a different vocalist on it, right? Then fired him. I shouldn't say fired him. They announced on Instagram the day before the album dropped that 𝗙𝗔𝗞𝗘𝗗𝗢 was no longer in the band. They had re-recorded an album with a new vocalist. He claims that he was never told, that he found out through social media. Because the day before he was like, hey, new album drops tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and he's like, well, I'm not in the band anymore? Like, nobody told me. So that's kind of what's circulating out there.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is true or not. But anyways, that's what's currently circulating. And then now the band is touring in Europe with a new singer. They have a new album that got re-recorded with that singer. So there's 2 versions of the album out there, depending on which version you have. If you pre-order the CD or the vinyl, you have 𝗙𝗔𝗞𝗘𝗏 on it. If you didn't, then you don't. So that's kind of where we are. Now there's a beef between him and the band because obviously he feels like he shouldn't have had to apologize for what he said because it's just his opinion, freedom of speech, blah, 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 blah. And then the band obviously feels like freedom of speech is not freedom of consequence, and they didn't like what he said because it hurts their bottom line, and therefore they made the move that they made. That's kind of the story.
Yeah.
So I don't think I can add any more to what's going on.
I guess I gotta give my
I want to hear your take. You're a young dude. You're more in touch with this whole stuff these days. I'm not. I'm old school, so I come from that line of thought that I say what I think and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I'm more like when I say stuff and like it's a little bit far out there, it's always with like either joking wise or stuff, but in the back of my head I know someone is gonna like I never do it with the intent, oh, no one's gonna get mad at that. I know it doesn't matter what I say, someone will get mad at it. But I never post shit. Because saying something is saying something.
I sometimes do. But
you do it in the joking way.
But my boy, what's his name?
If he's your boy.
My boy, Angelo from Raider. Angelo from Raider. I saw him at Cannibal Corpse the other day, and we were talking kind of about this because somebody tried to cancel them, and we were talking about this, and he's like, dude, you're kind of like the father figure in the metal scene here in Toronto. So you get a lot of leeway with what you say. And not only you get leeway, but people know that you're just busting balls and you're joking. So people don't really take it like in an offensive.
Yeah,
like, you're not saying with a mean spirit behind it. You're just fucking busting balls.
You're just busting balls.
That's who you are. So he said you can get away with it because of your age, of who you are. People know you, they respect you, and they know you're just busting balls.
Exactly.
But the same leeway that you get, it doesn't mean that the guy next to you, if he says the same shit, he's gonna get the same leeway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I totally get that.
But still, like, I mean, this all should have started and ended with him not saying shit. Because when you're in a band, we've said this so many times, when you're in a band, you are not representing yourself anymore, you're representing the band, and you're representing whoever is associating...
and everybody that works with the band, the sound guys, the crew,
whoever's associated with the
even other
band.
bands who go on tour with you, especially when you already have a tour announced.
And especially if you're a big band, too, that those bands need to be on tour with you. When you do stupid shit like this, it affects everybody. And
because it's not just 𝗙𝗔𝗞𝗘𝗏 the individual, it's 𝗙𝗔𝗞𝗘𝗏 the lead vocalist of Die Artist Murder. I think people kind of forget to grasp that aspect of things.
Yeah.
When you're a public figure, you're no longer speaking just as Joe Blow from across the street that has 0 followers on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like,
when you said public figure, I thought you were going to say public enemy.
No, public figure.
Well, now he's a public enemy.
Dude, it's no different than if I went on TV and I said something completely like out the left field, and my boss saw it on TV, and I get fired the next day. Like, freedom of speech is not freedom of consequence. I can say whatever I want. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be any consequence coming my way for whatever it is that I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is also something people these days seem to forget.
Yeah.
Because freedom of speech doesn't mean you can just say whatever you want and then there's... Like, freedom of speech doesn't allow me to go into your house and call you every fucking name under the roof and then not expecting to get the lights punched out or the cops called or me just getting escorted out of the house. Like, you know, like... Okay, I have the freedom to say it, but then I have to deal with what comes my way afterwards.
Exactly.
I just want to put that out there because I hate when I see, like, what happened to freedom of speech. He said it. Nobody stopped him from saying it.
Exactly, he did say it.
He did say it. And then they also have the same freedom to do whatever they think it's right.
Exactly. Yeah, it shouldn't have been done in the first place. You're representing a band. It's honestly, when I see shit like this, it makes me feel like these people are like and when I say these people, I mean like the people who do this shit that fuck up their bands. I feel like they're just children on the inside that just want to blurt out whatever they're thinking. Because you gotta think about, you can't just think about yourself in these moments. You gotta think about everybody. You can't, like...
And you're not changing the world, dude. Posting a fucking meme or sharing a video.
But it's like you, if you said
what's that going to change the world?
If you posted, like, we both enjoy doing our A&P-Reacts stuff, and the stuff we do here on Out of Line. If you went on the A&P-Reacts Twitter and said something fucking out, like, far out, it affects me. It doesn't just affect you, it affects me.
100%.
So it's something like that where, you know, when you're a part of something that is not just you...
But even if I said on my own personal Facebook page...
It'd still affect us.
Yeah.
It would still affect us. So it affects everybody. So that's number one. He should have never posted it. It should have never been said. Freedom of speech, cool and all, but you need to keep into consideration. If I say this, doesn't matter how much I agree with it, what will happen, right?
It isn't like...
And you have to be really thick to feel that in your mind that whatever you're saying right now, oh, no one's gonna be offended. Like,
no, not even. I don't think he didn't think that people wouldn't be offended. I think he feels like it's his truth. So like I feel strongly about this point of view.
But if you're not...
Okay, you could feel strongly about that point of view, but other people are going to feel strongly about other points of view.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter how strongly I feel about something.
Okay, so let me. What I think sometimes these people that have this just, it's like life is a two-way street. Mm-hmm. You go one way and people are coming the other way. I feel like people who take this approach only think that they're driving in a one-way lane. There's no two ways. There's just a one-way lane, which is my lane. And everybody has to give me the right of way because I'm on the right lane. That's not how life operates. Because, okay, he feels strongly about what he posted. What about if another member of the band had posted something on their own social media that was pro-transgender? How would he feel, considering that, obviously, he doesn't agree with a lot of the transgender viewpoints? So, how would he feel if the shoe was on the other foot? He probably, internally, he would have said to the guy, hey, dude, that's not cool. I don't see myself in what you posted, and what you posted now also represents me because I'm in the... Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like if you went to...
It goes both ways. This kind of thing
listen,
goes both
I see
ways.
what you posted. I don't fully agree with those. Do you mind taking it down? Because I don't post my view.
Oh, yeah. So if that was the case, yes.
So why are you posting yours? Like, I understand that too. Like, why are you posting yours when I can't post mine? It does kind of seem like... it seems unfair in a way. But in the end... Just to lay it out there, it should have never been posted. That's number one.
Okay, that's number one. Let's move on to point number two.
Point number two, him apologizing. I think once you notice you fucked up, you gotta apologize in a right way. Like, you can't...
I know, but he probably didn't want to apologize because he doesn't feel like he fucked up.
But that's why, because he's so thick. He's so, like thick in the head. Like, how are you that thick in the head? It's like, oh, fine, I'm sorry. Like, no, like, you gotta...
Dude, but if you as a band... realize that he's not sorry about it, then I think you have to move on without that apology. Somehow.
The thing is, it's probably like Doomsday. Like these guys,
I'm sure this was the icing on the cake. I don't think this is like...
Yeah, I bet you this was like building up, because they wouldn't have done this so fast if it wasn't building up. There was definitely shit that was pissing off the band, like
for a while
now, and this was their ticket to kick him out, right? Like, but I could just imagine them all in like one of those reactor rooms, and all the red lights are flashing, and they see his Instagram post pop up, and then like the red lights start flashing. They're like, "Oh fuck, tell him to do an apology," and then it all calms down. Fuck, his apology is really bad. His apology is really, really bad. Another one.
Guess who went out on his defense?
Who?
Double R, Mr. Falling in Reverse himself. I wasn't shocked by it.
Of course. What is this guy doing? Making music? Like, no, he's not.
They're all the same peas in the same pod. Anyway.
All the guys who don't know how to, like, shut up. Like, honestly, like, just shut up. I don't know, man. Like, if you have...
I don't have
If you have a view that you are very, very proud
we're not
of...
talking about, like, a view that the world is unanimous about
like
pedophilia. We're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're not talking about, like, anti-pedophilia stuff where everyone's on board. Or anti-fascist, if everyone's on board.
I don't know about that one, but anyways. These days, that one, not so much. Not so much.
And I was going to say anti-communism, but that one's really...
that one's
really...
Yeah.
Like, it's not that shit. No, it's something that... Honestly, there's a lot of people on each side. I'm not saying good people, but I'm saying there's a lot of people on each side, right? So you can't go out with a 50-50, like, this is literally, not even 50-50 to be honest with you, because this is North America.
I know, they're in Australia, but whatever.
But it's a worldwide ban. I'm basing it here. Worldwide ban, to be honest, with what he, like, said and all the entire... The subject behind it, he was posting like an 80-20 tweet. Like 80% are against him.
Was it real, I think? I don't know. You in these tweets?
Whatever, I like to use tweets. Tweets are easier because...
Okay, come on.
I expect this shit.
We're gonna run out of time on this fucking video. Let's get to the point.
He was posting like an 80-20 shit here. Like 80-20 split. And 80 was like the shit can of like, he was not... People were not on his
he's
side.
gotten a lot of support online, believe it or not.
Yeah, but that's the 20. Like, they're
really loud.
They're the loudest. The 20 is always the loudest. Like, especially when it's like, God, like, this guy's getting so much hate. Oh, really? Well, it's like 7 guys, but they're posting a lot. Like, they're always the loudest. But if that's... But I was going to say, if that's going in your mind, why even do it? But it wasn't, because...
The whole point, I think, dude, it comes down to this. He believes strongly in what he posted, which is fine about it.
Which is fine about it.
But a couple of things is, you're not going to change the world by posting it. Mm-hmm. There's people out there that you're going to really hurt because they're fans of the band, and something like that becomes really hurtful.
Yes.
It's like you're a fan
dissing you're dissing your fans.
You're dissing a part of your fan base, like it or not.
That's like.
And the question that I always put myself. The question I always ask myself is not what Corey Taylor thinks about this, or what would Jesus do in this case. Because that's what everybody wants to know. What does Corey Taylor think about everything or anything? But anyways, those are not the questions that I always ask myself. The questions I ask myself is, what is there to be gained?
Nothing.
You're not going to change the world. The people that agree with you are still going to agree with you. The people who don't agree with you are still not going to agree with you. So you're not changing anything. The only thing that you're doing is creating a toxic environment around your band.
Exactly.
That's all that you're doing.
That's like if a band came on tour and started handing out Axe body spray to people who walked in, and it's like, you all smell like shit every time we come here, so here's some Axe body spray. Like, you're dissing your fans. Why are you Because I bet you a big amount of their fans definitely don't agree with what he said. So you're dissing your fans at that point.
Even if you're dissing
one fan, it's one too many.
It's already one too many. With something that there's no return on your investment.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like there's nothing to be gained. Like, you're not going to change the world. You're not a martyr. You're not standing on a hill alone.
Listen,
you're no fucking Joan of Arc here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? So just like when you're a public figure and you're in a band like that, think about those around you that depend on you.
Honestly, I think when it comes to bands, the only shit that should
don't say it.
The only shit that should be posted that's not music related is if a tragedy happens and you send your prayers and shit like that.
Yeah, that's totally
That's
fine.
the only thing, or it's like a holiday for a group of people and you say that, like,
or if it's a solo project. If it's your solo project, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
That's the only thing that should be coming up that's not music and your music related stuff. That's
like Michael Jordan said. Republicans also buy sneakers.
I thought you say fuck them kids.
No, that too. But so that's that. But now let's move into the band part. Did they do the right thing here? I don't think they handled it properly either.
They handled it properly, no.
I don't think they handled it properly either.
So there's bad people on both sides. There's bad people on both sides. Yeah, he's a dick. Yeah, we get.
But that's also their mate. I mean, it's not like Dude,
They're mates, yeah.
You know, it's not like they don't know this guy. They've been together for a fucking long time.
This was definitely.
It's probably something that's been brewing. Okay, I get that,
point.
but I honestly feel like this is one of those moments that you take as a learning lesson, and you have a come to Jesus moment. And you sit down with a guy. Don't force him to do the apology, because obviously it's forced and he doesn't mean it and he doesn't want to go down that road. And you come down and you sit with a guy and you try to explain your point of view and say, okay, we're not going to force you to apologize, but we have two options on the table here. One is you leave the band because we don't see ourselves represented by your point of view, and you making that post has affected us and somehow is making us look like we agree with you. So that's option number one, is you leave the band on your own and we go our separate ways and let bygones be bygones. Or you realize the harm that you have done.
And you apologize.
And you apologize sincerely and we move forward.
Exactly.
And now we understand that going forward, keep this shit off the internet.
Exactly. It should have been...
Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
Exactly. I think, honestly, it should have been...
See what I did there?
Yes. It should have been a sit-down. There's 3 options, not 2. It should have been a sit-down. They should have been like, dude... What you posted, I understand that because when it comes to people like this who are very thick, you have to come across like you understand, and you need to like play to them a little bit before hitting them with the truth. And you gotta be like, listen, I understand this is how you feel. You're very passionate about this, but why? Like, why did you have to post it on in a way you may have not been speaking on behalf of the band, but since we didn't say anything, you technically just spoke on the part of the band, and we don't agree with what you said. Now, 3 options: you leave the band. Option 2, you realize what you did, because after the conversation, you have maybe he'll realize what happened.
Yeah, we don't know if that conversation happened.
We don't know,
but anyways.
He realized.
Okay, what's point number 3? He shouldn't have. We still have to tackle the Live Nation.
He realized he shouldn't have posted this, yada yada yada, and then he apologized. And then point number 3: hey, if you don't want to leave the band on your own terms, if you don't want to apologize, we kick you out and we get a new guy, which is what they did without even having. Well,
we don't know.
We don't know, but that's what they did apparently behind his back, allegedly behind his back. And then going to that whole thing behind his back and not telling, I feel like they should have just fired him on the spot if that's what they were, before they even decided to go into the studio to redo it. They should have fired him on the spot. Why wait a day before the album? That's like, you're edging him a little bit. He's a douche, but like, come on, you don't have to do that.
I honestly feel like this was poorly handled on all sides.
I think he shouldn't have done what he did, and they should have handled it a lot better. Now,
these people are acting like children on both ends. Yeah. On both ends.
Going behind the backs and all this shit. Like teenage girls.
And really, and even re-recording. Is that necessary?
No.
I don't think it, dude, I don't think it is.
No, because if you're going to kick him out of the band and you don't want him to get paid.
Never mind that. The vinyl and the CDs are out with his recording on it. Like, what the fuck? It seems so petty.
It is very petty.
It's petty, dude. It's petty. That's what I'm saying. There's bad people on both sides when it comes to this story. Nobody comes clean in this picture.
No, because they definitely handled it really, like, they handled it very poorly, and then obviously he did his thing. So, like, yeah, bad people on both sides. Anyways,
but I'm sure this is the icing on the cake. So these guys should have already seen the writing on the wall a long time ago and addressed this before it got to this point.
Yeah.
Because it's like when I hear a band saying that, oh, we didn't know Joe was a rapist. Come on, you've been on tour with this guy for 20 fucking years, and only now you're discovering he's a little touchy-touchy? No, come on, man. You've turned a blind eye a few times to certain situations that were at the very minimum borderline. I don't buy that. Like, there's no way you're on a fucking tour bus, stuck with a guy for 20 years touring, and you don't know his character?
But that's different, man. Because
I think sometimes people look away because there's dollars and bills. You know what I mean? Like, there's other things.
You can say that, and that's probably the case for some of them, but you can't say that's the case for all of them.
I'm not saying it's the case for all of them.
It's the same with murder and having a friend who became a murderer
or a serial killer. I didn't see that coming.
Like, there's a lot of people out there that
hide it really well.
That hide it very well.
Okay, fine.
On the tour bus, maybe he doesn't do shit like that, whatever. But when they're not on tour and he's not around the guys, he's a little bit rapey. Like,
fair enough, but I still think there are some signs. If you're paying attention to it, there are some signs that you can get off of that ride earlier. I'm just saying.
I think that one is just more of like, it depends on the person. Yeah,
if you're outspoken like this on Instagram, I don't think you're really hiding any other shit behind the doors. Like, come on.
Okay.
So, anyways, Live Nation. Before we go, so Live Nation announced that they were going to be removing merch cuts at all of their venues.
Oh, yeah, like clapping too fast.
Yeah, because,
perfect.
Because then if you read the fine print, it's only for 90 days.
Oh shit! What?
Everybody had the same reaction as you did. Hey,
Am I clapping too fast?
Good on you, Live Nation. And then you read the fine print, it's like, this applies for 90 days, which is October, November, and December. Most bands don't tour in December. So you're really doing this for 60 days, which is October and November. And it's only at their venues.
And it's technically not even 60, because who the fuck does it the end of November? So we're technically talking about October in the middle of November.
Yeah, something along those lines. And like, if that wasn't enough, you have to also look at the fact, and they're saying they're offering like $1,500 gift cards or payout cash to help with transportation or whatever.
For 90 days?
Also for the 90 days. Apparently they're big fans of 90 Day Fiancé, so like they're going with the whole 90 days.
What?
So anyhow, when I saw this, even before I found out that there was a 90-day limit on this charity, like even before I found out that, when I saw this news hit, the first thing I thought immediately is these guys are trying to fuck the little guy. Right? Because if you're a small promoter in any city across North America, if you're a small promoter, you don't own the venues, so you don't control the merch cuts. You're renting the venue for the show, and when you rent the venue on the contract says that they're going to charge X percentage of dollars on the merch cuts. So you as a small businessman, in that case, you have zero control over the merch cuts. They have control because they own the venue, so they charge if they want to and they don't charge if they don't want to. So by doing this and making it this public and then hiding the 90-day in fine print, what they're trying to do is screw the small-time promoter. Because then if you're a band and you're going to go on tour, you're like, okay, do I go with a small promoter where I'm going to have to pay 25% merch cuts, or I'm going to go with Live Nation where I don't get to pay any merch cuts?
Yeah, but then they're going to get fucked when they realize they're going to have to still pay merch cuts after those 90 days.
Okay, but that's besides the point. The point now is that this to me
they tried.
It's propaganda.
It's definitely propaganda.
It's propaganda, and at the same,
like saying
they're trying to wash their face. They're trying to wash the blood money off of their hands. You know, like with all the ticket fees and all of that shit that we all know about. They're trying to do this. They're trying to clean their image with this propaganda, and at the same time that they're trying to clean their image with this propaganda, they're screwing the little promoter. And in the small venues that depend on that said promoter to stay alive.
That's like having a fucking month-long sale in June for fucking winter jackets. Like...
Or snowblowers.
Yeah.
Like, snowblowers in June, half price.
Yeah, in Texas. So it's really useless.
Fuck yeah.
So it's really useless.
Like in the Caribbean.
Like you're in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's like, here, snowblowers in
half
June.
Price.
In June, not even in December, where they're not even gonna have the snow. Like,
they don't have snow anyways.
They have snow anyways. Yeah. So I don't know. I think the fine print thing just makes them kind of look a little bit bad, but
a little bit. I think they're douchey all around. But anyways.
I don't know, man. I just think that
I just love the fact that everybody fell for it.
Yeah,
everybody was like, Live Nation, you know, they're not all about the money.
And then the next message, fuck. There's
of course, they're all about the money. Since when is a big corporation going to give something?
Here we go, money talks. Oh, copyright.
Jesus Christ. Oh fuck! I didn't even show the video. Okay, so before we go, here's the video of CJ getting kicked out of the band. I think story checks out. This apparent they were not happy with his Instagram post, and then
ooh, fuck.
Yeah, shit went down under. All right. So allegedly, this is the video of him.
Guitar.
I know. This is the video of CJ getting kicked out. But as you can see, he's not out. He got back up again. He's falling in reverse. He's falling in reverse. I almost forgot about sharing this video. Shout out to We Are the Pit that got this circulating on the internet. All right, guys, this is it for this video this week. We'll be back next week with more hot topics.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, we need to get paid by hot topics now. Anyhow, we'll see you next week.
See ya.